Boy, there's a lot of stuff going on in that first half. And when the dust had settled, Golden State had a 58-49 lead. Klay Thompson leading the way for Golden State with 13. American Express halftime report from Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Kenny, Shaq, and Charles. Tail of the tape in the first half. Look at those turnovers. 13 by the Rockets, leading to 20 Golden State points. Houston, no points off the 4 Golden State turnovers. And it's a 9-point lead in a game in which the superstars spent some time in the locker room with injuries. Steph Curry and James Harden. Let's start there.
Well, let me go here then. Let me go to the board.
Go to the board.
Let me go to the board. Because most of the time I go to the board, it's all about
X's and O's.
X's and O's. But the series last year was dictated on things like this. And now, if you have your best players not being able to play, here's Steph Curry, freak injuries. This has been going on throughout the playoffs. So if you have freak injuries, here's Steph Curry getting his injury, going to the locker room. All of a sudden now, we don't know if he's going to be able to play with the same intensity, but he did come back. This is what could separate the Rockets right here and them. And then Harden getting poked in the eye, bleeding from the eye on a inadvertent, Chuck?
Yeah.
Inadvertent finger
Accidental.
by Draymond Green. Accidental by Draymond
First of all,
Green.
that's what inadvertent means, fool.
No, it's a little bit of both. But we have the bleed in there. Hey, what would you have said to him, Shaq, right there?
I'd have said, hey.
Take the night off, rest your eye.
Yep.
This could be
Hope
it.
we
We don't
don't
have to
see
go
no
through
more.
X's and O's because if these two guys don't play, it changes the dynamic of the series. It changes the dynamic of how you run your offense and what your defensive schemes are. So there's nothing to
it
do.
hurts
but
the Rockets more.
without question.
Yeah, no question. But
Dislocated
Bingo, that's
left,
no big deal.
left middle finger.
Yeah, that don't mean anything. They're just going to be sore tomorrow. That's no big deal. But, Rockets going to be really disappointed in 13 turnovers.
No doubt.
I mean, you can't turn the ball over. They did 2 things that were bad. The turnovers, obviously, but there was 3 plays where they scored and gave up a layup within 5 seconds. That cannot happen. I mean, Reggie did a fantastic job of talking about it. I mean, they got a basket, and the Warriors were laying it back in within 5 seconds. That cannot happen.
Crazy thing was Harden goes out with the eye injury. They outscore Golden State 23-19. Austin Rivers was a big part of that, hitting 3-pointers. In fact, Austin Rivers in the first half has 11 points. And
P.J. Tucker hit 2 big threes also.
But they kept him hanging around and cut the gap to 36-31 by the time Harden returned to the game. But again, turnovers by Houston. And if you continue at a pace like this, you got no shot.
Yeah, with so much going on, officiating, am I getting fouled when I'm shooting? You lose a game on the road. When you come in for the second game, you got to concentrate on it. Concentration is the most, So right now, I don't think they're really concentrating. Come on, Capella. Ernie Johnson said your name last week. Let's go to work. James, you're doing too much. Scott Foster's right there. You got to, be a little smarter. You got to take care of the ball. 13 turnovers at Golden State. You'll never beat Golden State like that. Right there, Chris Paul looking for the contact. The ref's not going to call it. Scott Foster's out there again. Another crazy pass. Defense there. You definitely have to concentrate when you're playing in a hostile environment in front of hostile fans.
Steph Curry blocked Capella.
Despite what's going on, you still got to concentrate.
The thing that's interesting, and we said this before, anytime you play on the road, the 2 most important stats was the Rockets are getting killed at turnovers and offensive rebounds. That's the difference in the game. When you play on the road, you can, especially against a team like the Warriors, but any team you play on the road, if you control the boards and don't turn the ball over, you got a chance. And they're getting killed on the boards and turn the ball over. That's why they're down.
I know you said no big thing on Steph Curry. Let me ask you, as a guy running the point, and I know it's not your shooting hand, but how's it going to impact you ball handling wise and everything?
It does. He will get used to it. If it's not in pain. But having tape on your hand, what it does is you don't feel the basketball the same way. So when you're shooting the basketball, if you saw his first couple of shots, he kept looking at it because you don't feel the ball when it comes. Because you don't always catch it with your right hand. You catch it with your left and you're ready to shoot. And you don't feel it. It just slides off. So it is a different feeling. But he's the greatest shooter possibly in the history of the game. He's going to figure it out, and he's going to be able to knock shots down.
Houston outshoots Golden State in the first half, and 10 threes compared to 4 for Golden State, but it is a Golden State lead at the break, 58-49. As we head to break, a reminder, Amex card members, this is for you. Whenever a player records a triple-double in a playoff game, you can get 32% off at NBAstore.com the following day. Go to NBAstore.com/Amex32 for terms and details. We will be back with more on the American Express Halftime Report. What are you nodding about?
The voice upstairs was in my ear.
That's TK. Sorry, folks.
You're watching the American Express Halftime Report. American Express, the official card of the NBA.
Express Halftime Report. Earlier tonight, Milwaukee evened the series with Boston. It was a 28-2 run, bridging the third and fourth quarters for Milwaukee that did the trick. Now they head to Boston for Game 3 on Friday. That is going to tell us a lot about the direction of this series, that game.
Can you tell me some more about the mean streets of Milwaukee?
More about the mean streets of Milwaukee? What about it? Oh, yes. No, my dad pitched for the Milwaukee Braves back in the 50s on that 1957 World Championship team. Yes, indeed. And that's one of the great baseball cards of all time.
Michael August, thank you for that.
Say what?
I said, my man, Michael August.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. That's great, man. We appreciate that.
Your dad pitched in the World Series?
He was the best, man.
And you a lowly sportscaster?
Yep.